It's Tuesday, Monday's hangover. It's time for some tequila, I think.
Of course,
Sarah G. That's all I'm going to say. Let's just drink. The Puppet Master Mark. Let's love Brandon at the helm, driving us in the nether region of all things insanity. Let's talk about us for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about our story. Mostly me, actually. We'll get back to us in a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to be in Kentucky this week. I'm going to be in Kentucky and at the Manchester Music Hall in Lexington. There's still some tickets available at chadpratherlive.com. Now, you need to get your tickets fast if you're going to join us in Amarillo on the 20th and in Abilene on the 21st. If you've never been to Potosi Live in Abilene, that's an amazing venue. A lot of people say, well, it's an outdoor venue. Yes, they can do that. They can roll up the whole wall and it becomes an outdoor venue if the band just turns around. And so I'm doing comedy in Abilene. There's a lot of questions. A lot of times people say, are you doing comedy or music? Well, it's always yes.
Both.
Doing both, some elements of. This is going to be a heavy comedy show. The band will be with me because we're playing the night before in Amarillo. They'll do about 30 minutes with me there at the end. So it'd be an easy night for them. And we'll just rock as long as y'all want to rock. But Abilene on the 21st, chadpratherlive.com. And then, of course, the Buck Wild Comedy Tour kicks off in Joplin, Missouri. Weird place to kick it off. But that is a low ticket alert. I think the last time I checked, we were 85% sold out on that. So that's still well over 2 weeks away before that happens. Wow. So it's a good thing to have. Of course, that's me, Zach Rushing, Dustin Sims, Jesse Payton. And then off we go. Lots more to do. My goal for this year, here's what I said about the new year, Sarah. Forget resolutions. I want realizations. All right. So it sounds cliche, but boy, it hit me like a brick upside the head. And that may be something people say every year. I don't know. But I've never heard it before. Mm-mm. But suddenly in my head, it was like, oh, yeah, that's what I want. I don't want resolutions. I want realizations. I want to see things come to pass. And one of those things is I'm back on the road after basically 2 years of busting my ass. I'm back to working again. 2 years of busting my ass running for office. I'm back to going at it and trying to put butts in the seats and having fun with people because that's what I do. And who knows? You know, we're a step closer. I told you this, to signing with that record label. We'll see if that happens. We're back to the negotiating table again. Listen, that's the thing. I ain't no kid. You know, you coming to me with wanting what you want. That label, that's some pretty cool projects they want to do. Not like a lot of young people sign on with these record labels and they own your life. We ain't having that.
Right.
We got some projects that could happen. And no, I'm not leaving the Blaze unless they kick me out of here. Sometimes we say on a hot mic, we love to give the executives a hard time around here. And sometimes we have a hot mic moment and they're like, what? And that's how we find out if they're paying attention, right?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
That's how we get things shook up around here.
Well, the funny part about like you
talk.
One of the funny parts about about you is that if you tell Chad something and you think a reasonable person would know that's not something that you would say publicly on a TV show, that is not the case with Chad. Like anything you tell Chad, be prepared for him to just bring up on the show. Well, there's no filter.
No, there doesn't need to be a filter.
No. Well, that's why I'm saying that's cheers. But that's part of the beauty of you is that what you see is what you get with him.
I think that's true.
Yeah, this is not an act.
No, I think that's true. I don't know how to do that, right?
Right.
I don't know how to do that. One, I think that I was thinking about this over the weekend and apply this to your life, because one of the things I'm doing and we're about to launch in the next couple of weeks is, I don't know if you want to call it life coaching. I mean, and again, it's from the trenches. You want to know a guy who's learned about life from a lot of failures. A guy who tends to do it wrong a lot, but comes out of it on the other side going, damn, I can tell you how to navigate that nonsense. Yeah. That's me. Yeah. So I don't want to call it life coaching, but just kind of showing you some patterns for life. But I was sitting there thinking I was thinking about what an imposter success is. It's a liar. Fame is a liar, right? There's no such, no one should strive to be famous.
No. And so many do these days.
Yeah.
In the age of social media.
It's a liar. It's a farce. That's why when I walk into a room someplace, where was I? I was at Best Buy. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Lindsay. I was at Best Buy the other day looking for a card reader for my computer. And I go in there and I happen to notice this young lady. She's kind of says, she works there, says hi to me and following me around and kind of stuff like that. Can I help you with anything? No, I'm still good. Aisle 13, I'm still good. And I go up there. The guy's going to check me out. The guy that stands at the door at the front of Best Buy.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, oh, I'll go over there and check you out. And I'm like, well, that's weird. I've never had anybody leave that post to make sure you're not stealing something to go check you out. And so get over there, and I can see the girl still back there. And he's like, dude, she's a big fan. And he's like, I've listened to everything you've said because of her.
Aww.
And so she's like, I don't mean to make this awkward. I was like, well, you did. You did through the appliances, you did through the computer section, through the speakers and the cameras, you did it around the DVDs. No,
Poor
she
Lindsay.
didn't. I'm being funny. She was fine. But I said, come over here, let's take a picture, and so we
were you in your ball cap?
Yeah.
Wow. That is a big fan.
Yeah.
Because usually that's how you go incognito.
Well, now I wear that big y'all hat now, so it's not so incognito anymore.
That's true.
So you see, I don't think of things like that is my point. And you should not expect. I think people go through life. We were talking yesterday about Dan Crenshaw with this sense of, how dare you question me, because you have a sense of entitlement for who you are. You ought to be the humblest of public servants. Mm-hmm. If that many people, but again, we've gotten such a screwed up political system here. These guys actually become celebrities. What was it that I heard somebody on a talking head on the news say this past week during the Kevin McCarthy hearings, is they referred to Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, and other brand name conservatives. Brand name conservatives. And I was like, that's an interesting take on that. They even referred to Dan Crenshaw as being one of those, a brand name conservative. Because there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of folks you didn't even know they existed, or that they do exist.
Yeah.
Unless they happen to be your representative.
Right.
But these ones, they just kind of make celebrities out of some of them, right? And I don't know why that is. What's so significant about one representative over another representative? Because you watch those House hearings and or not the hearings, but the House votes, and you're looking at all these names and all these faces, and you're like, I don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah.
But then you have the ones you do know who they are, right? The same with the Senate. So the fact that we're making celebrities out of people that shouldn't be celebrities is very telling. But nobody should strive to do that. So I'm just saying, as we head into 23 on a personal level, go after the realizations. Don't go for the resolutions. The resolutions are you're bound and determined to fail in those. Figure out the things that you can realize in this life that are going to be fulfilled deals that you made promises to yourself, and then celebrate those realizations when they happen. So that's kind of where I'm at this year. Now back to us.
Okay.
RealWomen'sClub.com. Of course,
Yes.
CJ's part of that. We've got tons of designs out there. Slapped them around a little bit with our distributor. We finally got V-necks. Which they'll be on the site this week. They should have been already on there, but maybe they're already on there by now. But the V-necks are on there. You women asked for them. Women's cut V-necks.
Including me.
Yeah.
I was like, how can we not sell V-necks?
Well, we were told after we got knee-deep in it with this distributor, they said, well, we can't get V-necks. And it was like, oh, but you better.
Yeah.
And they did. So we've got the V-necks. We've got the hoodies. We've got the T-shirts. So RealWomen'sClub.com. It's good stuff. And it's not my business. I have nothing to do with it.
Well,
but it's amazing to me how people get triggered over this stuff. But again, I love that they get triggered over it because that's what I do.
That's the point.
I love it. That's the whole reason we do it.
Triggering people by spreading truth.
I was walking through my Kroger the other day.
Of course you were.
And every day I go to Kroger. I walk the aisles at Kroger.
Now.
And and the little old lady, she was very elegantly dressed. I mean, she was sharp. She comes walking through there and she goes, young man, I appreciate the words on your shirt. and I had to look down, and it was like, F you, commie. And it was like, it wasn't really. It was unapologetic patriot.
I was like, wow. That's funny.
Yeah, because I was like, if I'd had that one on, I'd been like, we could date. But, you say those things, you never know the responses you're going to get from people when you put stuff on a shirt, right? Unapologetic patriot. So we just talked about the weather, and I got her number, and I'll see her Friday.
Are you picking her up from the nursing home, or
no? She was ambulatory. Go get that freak on, Sister Esther. I won't be. I'm not available anyway because I'm going to be in Lexington, Kentucky.
That's right.
So
where can people get those tickets at again?
ChadPratherLive.com. Okay. Promise me, guys, that when I'm dead and gone, you do a ChadPratherDead.com. Okay. This is where Chad Prather will not be anymore. You missed your opportunity. But yeah. Anyway, that Buck Wild show, I told you guys last week, with guys like Zach and Dustin and Jesse, they were like wanting to do Augusta, Georgia, my hometown. And I was like, can we not take this show to Augusta? Because I'm the clean one, right? I'm the one with a conscience. The rest of these guys are like, they're like trigger warnings. Yeah.
Like, I don't want my mom coming to that show. So.
She won't. I'll make sure she falls that day.
No, he won't, Mom.
I won't, Mom.
He's just kidding.
Oh, the other day I was on a Facebook Live and I was just going off on some topics and I was like pretty pissed. And then all of a sudden it says Gloria Prather is watching. And I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, all right, party's over. Party's over. Mom's on the Facebook Live.
That's so funny.
Boy, it's like the curfew hitting right there. It's like when the street light came on. It's like, all right, time to go home.
That is funny.
Fun's over.
My parents watch my show every day.
Yeah, but your show's good and wholesome.
For the most part, I guess. Every once in a while, they gotta edit my language, and I do hear from my mom.
Very rarely, I'm sure. My mother's like, "Why do you want to say things like that?" Because it's effective. Yeah. And it makes me feel better.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that for sure.
It's like, why'd you slam doors when we were growing up, Mom? Why'd you call Dad those names? Why'd y'all wake me up screaming at 2:30 in the morning? Because you did, Now I'm getting mine out. I should be a bachelor forever. Just forever. Anyway, God, I don't want to get into anything just yet. There's so many things. I'll tell you what I want to talk about, and I want to talk about it yesterday. This whole Reeducation program they're trying to put Jordan Peterson in Canada. Have you read up on that deal?
I don't know the specifics of it.
They're going to basically revoke his license, his psychology license. And Justin Trudeau and the gang up in Canada have ordered him to enter a Reeducation program over his comments, and his speech might cause harm. He's like, they can take my license.
God.
You can't blame him.
No. Canada, what's going on in Canada is so wild because for the longest time, you just think of Canada as just these very polite, quiet people. And you get Justin Trudeau at the helm of things during COVID, and you've got full-blown tyranny happening over there, and it just gets so overlooked.
No, it's insane. I love, talking to Canadians, I love the show Letterkenny. Uh-huh. I ask you if you ever watched Letterkenny. Yeah. It's a Canadian sitcom that it's just all dialogue. And it's deadpan, funny, and it's fast. Mm-hmm. And I just, kind of the way I do my thing, and I just love it. And you have to listen real closely because you're like, what are these people talking about? But you're like, that ain't the Letterkenny Canada I know anymore. I mean, they're talking about revoking Jordan Peterson's. Which, anyway.
For thought crimes. You'll get arrested for thought crimes next in Canada.
They'll just show up and shoot you. In Canada.
Well, next step is you don't have to want to kill yourself. They'll just do it for you.
They'll talk you into it, and if you're not into it, well, then by God, we'll twist your arm till you like it. There's some real 1984 stuff going on.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? Birch Gold. I'll tell you, man, Biden's administration, their New Year's goal of tax and spend, turn a blind eye to inflation at odds with your goals. It better be at odds with your goals, because it is certainly at odds with my goals of securing my savings. And folks, listen, if you finally have had enough of all the games that the government's playing with your savings and your retirement, I want you to do this. Diversify into gold. Yes, gold, like the metal, precious metal, gold. I want you to do it with birch gold. Now, I'm tired of my money being impacted by stupid decisions by these bureaucrats and so-called leaders in Washington. So for over 5,000 years, gold's withstood inflation. Everybody always goes back to gold. They go back to it, no matter how bad things get. And if you got geopolitical turmoil, stock market crashes, it all goes back to gold. Eventually, it comes back to gold. And you can still get it. In fact, you can own gold and silver in a tax-sheltered account right now and put your retirement right there. Birch Gold makes it easier for you to convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA into precious metals. Now, here's what you need to do. Text the word CHAD. I spell it Chad. That's my name. Chad to 989898. Claim your free info kit on gold. That's almost 20 years of experience you're going to get in converting IRAs and 401ks into precious metal IRAs. Birch Gold is going to help you do that. Protect yourself with gold today. Text Chad to 989898. They got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, thousands of happy customers, countless 5-star reviews. Secure your future with gold. Get the free info kit, no obligation. Just make the request. Text Chad to 989898. We'll be right back. Boy, have mercy. What do you think? What do you think is going to be? Let me ask you this question, sir. What do you think is going to be the next deal they come up with to really control the populace? Like, what's going to be as we head towards a 2024 presidential run? What's going to be the new scary? What do you think they'll do?
I honestly am just waiting for the next pandemic. The next mysterious illness. You know, if you recall, they allude to it, or they have alluded to it several times, that, well, now when we have the next pandemic, we'll be more prepared and we'll know what to do. And I mean, they keep alluding to the next pandemic. Yeah. Seems a little weird to do unless you have something that you already know is going to happen. Unless
all these died suddenly things continue to pop up and there's more of them more frequently, then they come up with a name for that to justify it. And it's not a, quote, virus. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's just something they're using to, here's what's been happening to all these people.
Right. Have you seen the meme that it's like the Oregon Trails type font, and it says, "You have died of suddenly"?
It
gets me every time.
I was listening to the radio the other day. Dana Lash was talking about, not that meme, but she was talking about things that she used to die from on when she played Oregon Trail, right? She said, it's funny that the older you get, the better you are at that game. I've never played that game, but she's like, you just are smarter.
Yeah.
You make better decisions or whatever.
That's funny.
And so that's kind of funny, because it's like, they're going to kill you. Now, I got to tell you about this. Hang on.
Just live TV here.
Live TV. These people know me. They're hanging out looking out through my living room at Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes, where you don't live anymore.
Don't live anymore. I found a new bar in Montgomery, Texas, and I sent you some screenshots of the menu. It's called the Angry Elephant. Now, apparently this is in Bryan College Station. I think it's one in San Antonio, but now there's one in Montgomery, which is not too far from me. I be there in like 15 minutes. And we went in there. We popped in there. A friend of mine was telling us about this thing, and it's hilarious. Like, if you read the menu, it's like
really funny.
The Mexican dog. It's like it's the Beto hot dog, and it says the Beto Mexican hot dog, and it was like, it's 100% American, but we like to call it Mexican anyway. But this thing is just incredible. This bar, they got is a nice, big, clean area. I ran into my buddy, world champ, Fred Whitfield, tie-down calf roper Fred Whitfield the other night. And he was like, man, it don't stink or nothing in here. I was like, well, man, the bar has only been open 3 months, And anybody knows Fred Whitfield knows that's a damn good Fred Whitfield impression. Man, it don't stink in here nothing. And this is a great bar. It's incredible. But we were in there, and one of the bartenders walks up, and she said, I got to confess something to you guys, because I was sitting there with CJ. She goes, I got to confess something. She said, I walked in here, and she looked at CJ. She said, I recognized you, and I texted someone that's a friend of Chad's. And I told him he's the guy that owns all the tune-up hair salons, that incredible franchise. She goes, I texted him and said, Chad's girlfriend CJ is in here with another man. And he texted back and said, well, dang, I like Chad a lot. I hate to hear this happening, what do we do? And she said, I came over, and she said, all the other bartenders, when they heard I did that, came running over going, that's Chad.
Oh my gosh.
So see, I don't always get recognized.
That's so funny.
Right? So, but either way, CJ was like, what if he'd have texted you and been like, hey, I hear your girlfriend's been going out with another dude. And I'd have been like, I'd have kicked your bitch ass to the curb. Because I don't know that maybe you're using this as an excuse. Maybe this is your way of coming up with a way of excusing your bad behavior. Which brings me back to my point of our next pandemic.
Yeah.
The government's cheating on us. And they're going to tell lies.
Yeah.
And say, oh, no, it was never that. Mm-hmm. You've been out there with another man. I did cheating.
Just from the screenshot you sent me.
Yeah.
The Antifa dog will set your mouth on fire. That's so based. I really want to eat at this place now, and I don't live in Montgomery County.
It's really good. It's really good. They got the pigs in a blanket. They call it the squad.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
They call it the squad, and it's pigs in a blanket.
That's so funny. The CNN Beyond Burger, fake meat. Hashtag fake meat.
That's their vegan.
Yeah.
It's the CNN burger. Fake meat.
That is so funny.
Yeah. It's a great bar. Anyway, it's if you're ever in the Montgomery area or whatever, just search Angry Elephant, and I want to open one of these places. Yeah. I want to open one of these places. I think I don't, but I do. I want somebody else to run it and deal with the headache.
Yeah, you don't want to open up anything in the restaurant industry.
But what a great concept.
It's
that
great.
Is just like a big middle finger to the woke establishment out there that says, no, listen, it says, like the politics, love the food is their slogan. Mm-hmm. And you go in there and there's pictures of Ronald Reagan everywhere, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool that they do that.
Notice they were very smart, it sounds like, with where they are located.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I will say that everyone, to their credit, fame is an imposter, but to their credit, everyone except for that one bartender, Megan, knew who I was. Oh, my hypocrisy knows no bounds. Did you hear about the M&Ms? M&Ms are gone further woke.
Yeah.
They got rid of the... They offer all-female candy package featuring a new purple character that promotes inclusivity. See, that's why you never pull for TCU right there, because of the purple.
Why is I don't get it, though. Why is purple inclusive?
I don't know. Maybe it's a mixture of how do you make purple? Blue, yellow, and red, or just blue and red?
Blue and red.
Just blue and red?
Yeah.
I thought maybe there was more. That would be inclusive.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very inclusive to me.
So much for the yellow. I tried to be more inclusive. They wouldn't let me. I'm too narrow-minded. So I don't know, man. They it's all about the cartoons right there. So now you got a purple one.
Yeah, I mean, can we just can you just sell us disgusting junk food without shoving down your agenda?
Since when?
Literally shoving your agenda down my throat.
Maybe you could just start saying the all chocolate M&Ms in the brown bag are for people of color. You could say the yellow bag ones are
yes?
are for men because they have nuts in them. You could do the red bag, which could be for females.
Oh gosh.
For various reasons.
He meant because we get angry a lot.
Something like that. I'm just saying. But these people really go out of their way. I want to be a part of that think tank, right? I want to sit around one of these deals. I think I do. But I don't think they're inclusive enough to include my ideas.
Right.
I don't think they want to hear my opinion on that. Like I just gave you guys a legitimately entertaining idea of a red bag M&M for all women.
I have to break it to you, Chad. I don't think that
See, you're not open-minded.
Well, no, it's just that I don't think that women want to think about why you chose red and then eat M&Ms.
But here's the thing. When I said red bag, you immediately knew where I was going and why it was associated with women. When I said purple, you had no freaking clue.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So, see, I'm logical. They're not. But again, we're in a feelings over facts world, and apparently somebody felt purple that day. And there may be a reason in this article as to why purple, but I don't want to talk about it.
So it says purple is quirky and confident.
Like women? Are women quirky?
They can be.
Purple is quirky and confident?
Yeah, we're flipping the status quo. It used to be boring and unintelligent, I guess.
Like, where do these people come up with this shit?
Oh, my Lord, have mercy.
It's so dumb. Just give us the nasty M&Ms with all the toxic crap in it.
Let me ask you a question, Sarah. You catch your ration of shit every day. Do you wake up feeling persecuted? I mean, do you wake up just like, you know what, I'm a persecuted person. I need to let the world know it.
No.
You know? I mean, you get the death threats. You get the mean things that are said. I mean, we all do.
Every day that I wake up in the United States of America is like, how could you be persecuted?
Yeah.
And I'm listen, I'm not saying we don't have our flaws, but I don't know what other country I would choose for greatest country in the world. Now we could lose that status real quick and in a hurry.
Yeah.
If we're not careful. But I mean, I would say the closest we come to getting persecuted is not taking the blah blah.
Well, I mean, and again, I'm thinking about getting the vasectomy reversed.
Yeah. That's going to be really, really valuable sperm.
Yeah, I mean, this is the new Bitcoin. I've told you guys.
Yeah.
You know? And no, I'm not giving you samples. We're doing it. You want the cut rate discount, unvaccinated, pure blood sperm? Got to give it up, girl. You got to show me the purple.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
There it was. I think that's pink.
No, the purple.
Okay.
Because I want it quirky. Some girls like it kinky. I like it quirky. Don't show me the red package, though. All right, folks. It's time for the new Genucel New Year's clearance event. And it is the new year. They're still clearing things. For a limited time, you can save over 70% off Genucel's most popular package and take care of all your skincare needs. Turn back the clock with Genucel skincare, and you can look 5, 10, even 15 years younger. Get rid of the fine lines, the forehead wrinkles, the sagging jawline, the dark marks, skin redness, even those under-eye bags. They'll be gone right before your eyes, literally. Genucel works for women and men. It's safe for all skin types and perfect for skin of any age. And with its immediate effects, Genucel promises results that will make you smile, guaranteed, or 100% of your money back. Right now, get Genucel's customer favorite deep firming vitamin C serum absolutely free in every most popular package. Hydrate your skin while restoring that vibrant glow. Go to Genucel.com/WatchChad. Enter WatchChad at checkout. Every order is placed automatically. It's upgraded to free shipping for the new year. Don't wait. Genucel.com/WatchChad. That's GENUCEL.com/WatchChad. We'll be right back. Wow! Speaking of M&Ms, let me talk about this. Let me wax eloquent on the topic because it gives me deja vu. You ever get deja vu? You know, that feeling that you've been there before. You know, you've seen the same thing, said the same thing, whatever. And I don't mean at the strip club, folks. I mean, listen, have you ever been there before, seen those things before, done that one thing that you probably shouldn't talk about your doctor and, you know, and your pastor? No, I mean, it seems like you've been there. because it can't surely be happening again. Now, I had that feeling in this story we were talking about in the last segment, where we were talking about the Mars Corporation and their M&M's division in particular, and how they've gone full bore woke. Now, I thought to myself, now, haven't we talked about that before? That was deja vu, until it wasn't, because in fact, I have talked about that very thing before, almost a year ago to the day, in fact. So it seems like the M&Ms are making the whole, the whole let's radicalize our candy thing an annual event. Now, if you'll recall, as I very, very nearly did last year, the whole idea was to tone down the apparent sexuality of the anthropomorphized green M&Ms so that all you perverts out there would save your energy for the strip club. Well, this year they've doubled down on the delightful dumbassery of the dunder-headed left and are releasing an all-female bag of candies. Now, there will only be 3 colors in the bag: brown, green, and, purple. Now, you would never think purple, because I wouldn't think purple. We've already talked about it. None of us would think purple. At least most of us would have guessed pink. Apparently, the fan vote won out, though, and purple it was. Now, I wouldn't make a big deal about that, or about any of it for that matter, except there are a few subtle things to tease out that I think might be important on a bigger scale. Now, as I told you a year ago, this is candy. So who gives a shit about whether its makers have the woke credentials in order? But the subtlety lies in 2 things: the socio-political assumptions on the part of the people who run the business, and the color purple itself. Now, don't worry, I'm going to explain that. First of all, companies as long-term successful as Mars don't typically go off on flights of fancy in the marketplace unless they're pretty sure that it's a really good strategy. That and the appeal of their product are the reasons why they've been successful for so long. So if you're a marketing strategist for one of the richest companies in the world, a company that wants to keep being rich in the short term, you might look at something like wokeism and assume it's a passing fad. Someday, everyone will look at the blue-haired TikTok clan the way most people eventually saw the hippies coming out of the cultural revolutions of the late 60s and early 70s. But then you might realize that, like the hippies, the subculture sort of died out, but the messaging, it kind of lived on. It just wins its way through subcultural permutations and remains at the end the same dangerous turning of the human spirit towards halls of power at any cost. Now, the blue hairs may die out at some point, but their message won't. So if you were a marketing executive, you might think more long-term than short-term and conclude that there's safety in siding with the more avaricious and ambitious side, the side willing to fight with teeth and claw. That's all, long-view thinking. In the short-view thinking camp, we have the color purple, which is related to what I just said, but is far more a part of our zeitgeist and will hopefully be as fleeting as much as the rest of it. They meaning the fans who voted this in, pretty obviously picked purple over pink because pink is thought to represent women, whereas Mars can make purple represent females. Now, either term is wildly fluid to the window-licking pseudo-philosophers that breathe the era of our age. So interchange the words, if you will, and you still come up with the same issue. It isn't that purple represents women. It's that it represents all women. Okay? I won't gild the lily here, even the women with dicks. Even the women with dicks. Now, at any rate, join us next year when I completely forget that the Mars Corporation is woke again and have to come on this program to tell you about the new penis-shaped drag M&M show. Whatever they can do to get it in the mouths of kids, you know what I'm saying?
Literally. Yes.
That's where we're living.
Yes.
Seriously. You eat a lot of M&Ms, do you, Sarah?
I sure don't, Chad.
You're an adult?
Even less now.
Yeah, you're an adult.
No. No.
You don't partake in hypersexualized candies?
I don't. No.
You don't lick the lollipop?
No.
Roll your tongue around the tip? None of that?
At the tip of the M&M?
Well, no, the lollipop.
Oh, yeah, no.
I take you to the candy shop. I let you lick the lollipop. Go on, girl, now don't you stop. Keep on going till you hit the spot.
I let you.
You can have it your way. How do you want it? Gonna back that thing up or gonna push down on it? What?
Well, in your monologue, you mentioned they know what they're doing. They wouldn't do this if they didn't think that it would be beneficial for them. But I disagree. Because, take Disney as a recent example. I don't think that they're profiting off of their decision to go
Here's my thing
so woke.
I agree with you in that regard. But let me take it where I think I'm trying to say is, I think they're willing to make a sacrifice.
I see.
For the messaging.
I see. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because I mean, how much money can you have?
Right.
I mean, if Bill Gates is willing to send $8 million to Africa for a pro-abortion program for the express purpose of population control, Bill Gates can fart and $8 million will fall down his leg. Okay? So for them, Disney took a big hit. That's a big hit. But they're still a financial black hole. I mean, they're never going to run out of money.
Yeah, and I mean, but they are, according to the new CEO, they are going to change that.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see if it happens. But.
I think that they so believe in this messaging that it's amazing how these companies, and again, it doesn't matter if you go to the modern monetary theory, ESG scores and things like that. Like this is why this matters. We joke about it a lot. Purple M&Ms, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a rat's ass about? Well, okay, so this is a perfect example of ESG and Great Reset being put in place. Because now they can say, oh, no, we changed our whole business model. We put out a whole packaged deal for our social governance.
Yeah.
Right? We were all about inclusivity. I mean, we changed our whole model around inclusivity. So for them, it's like, yeah, it might cost us a lot of money and lose us some business. Look at Crocs. We talked about this last week. Yeah. You know, Crocs is going to say, oh, there's no gay person out there going, oh, thank God Crocs finally came around. You know, next, we can't wait for Carhartt. You know, which Carhartt did that bullshit too last year, right? So all of these different companies, you're going, what in the hell? You're not going for your demographic anymore.
Right.
You know, kids eating M&Ms aren't sitting around thinking about the difference between female and male and the difference between...
I mean, I don't know. They might be now.
Well, they're not thinking about what's the nuanced difference between the word female and woman. And they're not certainly thinking about the differences, you know, between sex and gender. But by putting that messaging out there, they're scoring the points with the World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
And the Great Reset people. So when those of you watching or listening to this show say, oh, see, they're talking about stuff that don't matter. Who cares anymore? Who cares what that celebrity says? You should, because they're putting in place an economic system that ultimately is going to affect you. Why are these people getting pushed to the forefront with their messaging? Because in my opinion, that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing it so they can say, now, what have you done lately, Sarah?
Right.
You have a business, you know, AmericanBeautyBySarah.com. Have you come up with a transgender makeup line?
No, and I never will.
Exactly. Well, see, you are going to go to the low credit score end of the totem pole there because you aren't woke.
Yeah. Good luck. Well, I want everyone's takeaway from this to be don't feed your kids M&Ms. You never should have in the first place.
Probably not.
But don't feed your kids M&Ms.
Reese's Pieces, by God.
No, they're all garbage, Chad.
They are.
Don't feed your kids toxic crap.
Okay. Nothing with an ose at the end of it. No fructose, dextrose, maltose. Artificial
color. Red number 5, whatever the hell it is. Don't do that.
Get this vasectomy reversed. I'll give you a dose. Will your family suffer if food shortages hit? Millions will be caught unprepared. That's why you should head on over to preparewithchad.com for a very special discount on the emergency food you and your family are going to need very soon. Act now. You will save $200 on a 3-month emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest preparedness company. The 3-month kit is packed with high-calorie breakfast, lunch, dinners, drinks, snacks. It will feed one person for 3 whole months. Your family will not suffer tomorrow if you prepare today. Go to preparewithchad.com. Save $200 per kit. Get 1 kit per member of the family. You'll have plenty of food. Now, these kits are in stock. They're ready to go. Free shipping. It will arrive in unmarked boxes for your privacy. You will never regret having a supply of emergency food on hand. Do not take your chances with your family's survival. Go to preparewithchad.com today. That is preparewithchad.com. We'll be right back. I asked you during the break if you saw any of Hakeem Jeffries' concession speech, I guess you will, as the, Democratic caucus leader in Congress. The other night when they finally got the vote in the 15th round of voting for Kevin McCarthy. I Hakeem Jeffries, who it's always amazing, these people who think they're Barack Obama. They copy his style of speaking and cadence, and yes, he has a way with words. Don't get me wrong. I am a respecter of that. Anytime somebody can put a speech together and, halfway preach it, right. I like that. That's fun to listen to. But he threw his jabs in there, and there's something shifty about Hakeem Jeffries, the way he holds his eyes. He's a very articulate little communist.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And y'all go back and pay attention to Hakeem Jeffries. Like, even when Kevin McCarthy got up there and said, listen, we may have disagreements that are very passionate, but they'll never be personal. And just look at when they play that clip, they shoot down to Hakeem Jeffries. Just watch his eyes.
Oh, interesting.
Watch his eyes. He might be one of them lizard people.
Mm-hmm. It was always fascinating to me when you mentioned Barack Obama, and when you would ask people like, well, why is he a good president? Why do you like him? And it was always just like, he just gives such great speeches. He's the great orator of our time. And it's like, that doesn't qualify you to be a good president. Like, that doesn't make you a good president. That makes you a good speaker.
Yeah.
Why do I care about that?
Yeah, and that just shows you how people, by and large, don't have any idea what leadership qualities are.
None.
They think because he can put words together that makes him a great leader. No. Well, who was a great and very articulate, eloquent speaker was Adolf Hitler.
Right. Right.
There's some of those guys out there were fantastic orators.
Yeah, great speakers.
There's a reason why they rose to power.
Exactly.
Very persuasive in their version of evangelism.
Right.
Winning people over to their deal.
Right.
Do you think it was once TV came about because it was more about how you said
100%.
What you said than what you actually said?
Well, yes, in terms of the mass scale. Brandon, so because obviously Hitler wasn't being mass broadcast, right? They were filming him. You could go back and see the propaganda films and things like that. They were filming him, but it wasn't television. In 1939, in his rise to power. Obviously, he was persuading the people that were in front of him. If you go to 1968, when you see, or not 1958, when you start seeing the JFK debates with Richard Nixon. Mm-hmm. Richard Nixon, that was his downfall because he looked disheveled, he was sweating, he looked nervous in the debate that was televised. See, I think election meddling has been happening on a significant level ever since 1958 with the advent of the media and television broadcasting all of these things, right? Just like you didn't think of the horrors of war necessarily on a grand scale until, Vietnam? Well, Korea. When they started, and specifically Vietnam, when they started going in with television cameras and showing you the horrors of war. Yeah. And that's when the protests happen and you're a baby killer and spitting on veterans coming home. So yeah, I think that is a big part of it. And so now we're like, okay, which again begs the question, how in the hell is Joe Biden where he's at?
Right.
Because he's not a good speaker.
He is a good puppet.
Well, it shows you when all of a sudden someone like a Bill Clinton or Barack Obama comes out and they're like, wow, they give a hell of a speech. Hell of a speech. People get fooled by that. Yeah. George W. Bush wasn't a great.
He was a horrible speaker.
Not a good speaker.
Now, he also wasn't the best president, but
yeah.
I mean, give me a bumbling,
But
fool.
Again, what happens to me is it shows you that it's the puppet masters are the ones in control.
Yeah.
It's just a bonus if you have a good speaker, because immediately as soon as Hakeem Jeffries, I went on Twitter, as soon as Hakeem Jeffries did his deal, everybody's like, he's the next president. The next president. He's so presidential. Presidential. My God. So presidential.
Because he can
speak. And I'm like, if that's your criteria, then what's your damn excuse for Joe Biden?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think of Donald Trump as a great orator.
No.
But he's an effective orator in that he understands comedic timing.
Oh, for sure.
And he knows how to work a crowd.
Also, I don't need someone who can give a good speech if they're getting the job done. Like if they're just amazing on policy.
Very rarely are you going to have a Ronald Reagan who's good on policy and also a great orator.
Right.
You know, Ron DeSantis is great on policy. He's a little effeminate when he gives a speech.
You think?
Yeah. So much sugar in that tank. He's so light. Yeah. I mean, you talk about don't say gay in Florida. I was like, your president, I mean, your governor might be a little.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah, he's
Don't talk about my new BFF that way.
Ronnie D's eating the purple M&Ms, if you know what I'm saying.
No, he's not.
I love to piss people off.
See, it's funny that you say that because I watch him and he reminds me of Trump when he speaks.
Quite honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, he has a hand. He does the hand thing.
Yeah. I mean, I get mad at myself because my wrists naturally go out when I'm making a point or whatever. And I was like, that's kind of effeminate when I'm watching myself. So I can say that. Like I said, I can make fun of gays because I'm not one. That's the criteria.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think you might have that backwards.
Nah, I made it up. But it works. It works for my purposes. But you could go to realwomensclub.com. We got the new Trump 2024, Make America Great Again. Mm-hmm. We got that shirt. We've got new red shirts and red hats coming out soon that just say again.
Oh, that's great.
And we got Ron DeSantis 2024 shirts and sweaters that just say Make America Florida. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we ain't picking a side.
We're 100% grifting.
We ain't picking a side, all right?
Yeah.
We got something for everyone.
We're playing both ends against the middle, beer. Hang tight, we'll be right back. Ow! Woo! Tequila got me. Manchester Music Hall, Lexington, Kentucky. Get your tickets, ChadPratherLive.com. Sara Gonzales, what's going on with you?
American Beauty by Sarah?
Yeah.
.com. Listen, I'm not ready to fully say.
You're not fully launched yet.
Well, I mean, you can go there and buy makeup,
but you've got some
we've
business
got
changes that are next level. I love that.
In addition to, of course, Real Women's Club.
RealWomen'sClub.com, yeah. And you can still go to ChadOnBlaze.com and go shop and use promo code CHAD20. I bet you that promo code still works. And we'll throw some more merch up there. I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to take over the world. And if anybody's got $10 million laying around, I'll run against Stan Crenshaw.
Venmo, remember.
Chad Prather 22. In 26. 26. Yeah.
26. Someone needs to do
We
it.
got time to work it out. Oh, my new audio book, Am I Crazy? Am I Crazy is now out on audio, way better than reading the thing. Listen to it because it's in my voice. How about that? Tomorrow's Wednesday. We're going to get Humpty Hump. Stay out of trouble. Love you. God bless you. See you then. Bye.